lie still, your breath soft and steady, the world around you dimming like a lantern gently turned low. As your eyes close, another vision begins. Not a dream, but a descent. Not into sleep just yet, but into something smaller, far smaller. You drift down through the quiet layers of existence, past the cells of your skin, the pulsing vessels, the hum of life inside you, down through molecules, into atoms, then smaller still, into a realm where the ordinary rules of reality begin to loosen their grip. This is the quantum world. Here, the air does not blow, time does not tick. Things shimmer rather than sit still. What is and what isn't dance in close embrace. You float through this world, not as a giant, but as a guest, a still, weightless witness to the tiniest truths of nature. And here you see it, a barrier. It stretches before you like a wall made of light and silence, not solid, not transparent, not something you can touch, but something you know cannot be crossed, at least not by ordinary means. This is a potential barrier, a soft-sounding name for something absolute. In the classical world, the one your waking body walks through, this wall is impenetrable. If a ball rolls toward a hill that's too high, it rolls back. If a person pushes on a locked door, they cannot pass through. But you are not a person here. You are not even a thing. You are a whisper, a possibility, a wave of being. And so are the particles that dwell here beside you. Imagine a marble on a table. It rolls, it slows, it stops. But in this strange quantum world, the marble is not just rolling. It is also spread out like a cloud, its presence smeared gently across space. That cloud-like quality, that waviness, is what defines this realm. Particles are not points. They are ripples of maybe. And a ripple can do something astonishing. It can sneak under or through the barrier, not by breaking it, but by becoming more than one version of itself. This is the heart of our tale. This is quantum tunneling. There is no door. There is no key. There is only the possibility that the particle might be found on the other side. You float closer to the barrier now, watching a lone electron draw near. Its motion is slow, soft, like a leaf drifting toward a stream bank. It has no energy to pass over the wall. That much is clear. But still, it does not stop. Its wave stretches, dimming into the barrier like moonlight fading into fog. And something stirs on the far side, a ghost of the particle, not an echo, but an extension. The wave continues there, beyond where it should be. Then, almost shyly, the particle reappears, on the other side of the wall. No force applied, no door broken, no rule obeyed, only the quiet consent of the quantum. Your breath deepens. The stillness around you feels sacred now, as if you've just witnessed a secret that nature tells only when no one is looking. But the mystery isn't over. You wonder, how often does this happen? How does nature decide when to let a particle pass? There are no minds here, no decisions made, only probability, only the mathematics of perhaps. The thicker the wall, the dimmer the chance. The wider it stretches, the fainter the wave that can continue. But still, even in the most unlikely corners of the universe, tunneling happens. Quietly, repeatedly, persistently, and not just here, in this imagined barrier between imagined shores. It happens in your body, in the stars above you, in the subtle machinery of reality itself. It's as though the universe is built, not on certainty, but on softness, not on brick walls, but on veils. You begin to sense something else now, not just particles moving, but meaning flowing, a suggestion that what feels impossible in the large may be quietly allowed in the small, that life itself may borrow this loophole, this gentle exception in the laws of cause and effect. You feel that idea settle into your thoughts like a feather, light, uncertain, yet true enough to hold. Here, at the threshold of all things, you begin to see that boundaries are not always barriers. Sometimes they are invitations. You look back at the barrier once more. It glows faintly, pulsing with that strange twilight energy of the quantum world. No hinges, no handles, but somehow doors still open. And as you drift just a little deeper, you wonder if particles can be in more than one place at once. What does it really mean to be somewhere at all? You continue drifting, weightless in thought, wrapped in the hush of this invisible world. There's no sound here, no wind or warmth, just the soft hum of something deeper than silence. The barrier is behind you now, but the wonder it sparked still lingers in your breath. It makes you think about rules, not the kind written down, but the ones you grew up sensing were true. In the world above, the waking world, the world of gravity and ground, things behave predictably. A tossed ball falls, a car moves forward, a glass, once shattered, stays broken. Cause leads to effect. Objects have edges. A thing is where it is. The world feels certain. But here, inside this microscopic dimension, those certainties begin to slip like sand through fingers. You feel it in the space around you, a kind of loosening. This isn't chaos. It's not confusion. It's softness, like the difference between a wire fence and a misty curtain. You're no longer looking at particles as tiny marbles. That image doesn't work here. Instead, imagine each particle as a possibility, a ripple in a pond too small to see. A particle isn't just somewhere, it's many somewheres. It doesn't travel in a straight line. It moves like a question moves, tentative, suspended, searching. You watch an electron now, not as a speck, but as a soft, undulating wave. It spreads and pulses, not because it's unsure, but because certainty simply doesn't exist here until something, or someone, looks. This is the realm of superposition, a word that means many places, many outcomes, held at once like a breath not yet released. The electron travels toward two slits in a barrier, and your mind recalls the famous double-slit experiment, a haunting, elegant doorway into quantum mystery. You watch. The electron passes through, and it seems to go through both slits, not in a trick or a glitch, but because it exists as a wave, and waves do not choose, they explore. Then, on the other side, its wave collapses. The many possibilities become one. It lands in a single spot. Only when it is measured, when it is seen, does it choose a path. This isn't just strange, it's foundational to the way our universe works. Until something is observed, it is not set, it is not fixed. It can be, but it is not yet. You let this settle in, like a soft rain over still water. Imagine walking down a path that branches ahead, left or right, uphill or down. In your world, you must choose. But in this realm, for a moment, you walk every path, all at once, until the moment you reach the fork and open your eyes, and the other paths vanish like dew in the sun. This is not metaphor here. This is how the particles of your body behave. This is how the world is built at its smallest scale. You find yourself wondering, what is reality made of, if it can change simply because you observe it? The curtain that divides certainty from possibility is not drawn from cloth or time. It's drawn from measurement, from attention, from contact. And so the question lingers in the gentle dark. Is it the particle that chooses? Or is it you who makes the choice real? Not with intention, but with awareness. This thought doesn't demand an answer. It simply drifts beside you, a companion to your quiet inquiry. And yet, it opens the way to deeper questions. Because if particles exist in clouds of possibility, if nothing is certain until it's touched, then what happens to the rules we trust? How do you build a world on foundations that don't sit still? You let your breath fall into rhythm with this truth. Slow, software repeating. The quantum world isn't less real. It's just more honest, more delicate, less concerned with staying in line. And maybe, somewhere within you, you've always known this. Maybe your dreams, your memories, your intuitions, they echo this uncertainty, this shimmering veil between what is and what might be. The path through quantum space stretches onward. You feel yourself moving gently forward, as though drawn by a quiet invitation. You pass through one wall. Now you walk through many curtains, each more transparent than the last. But you wonder still, if particles can exist in many places at once, then how do they ever become one? You drift onward, weightless in wonder, still wrapped in the softness of uncertainty. Here, in the quantum deep, nothing stands still, and nothing quite arrives. Instead of things, there are waves. Instead of places, there are possibilities. You look around you, not with eyes, but with thought, and the space shimmers, not empty, but full of something quieter than presence, full of potential. You feel it first in yourself. You are not a point. You are a wave, spread thinly across space. Your being touches here and there, and somewhere beyond. You haven't gone anywhere, and yet you are manywheres. That's how the quantum world works. You are both the question and the echo, the traveler and the trail. Each particle, whether it's a photon of light, an electron in a shell, or something deeper still, moves not with feet, but with frequency. A gentle, rhythmic pulse. This is the particle's wave function, a hum that holds all the possibilities of where it might be found. It is not random, but not fixed either. It is a whisper of where. You imagine a pond in moonlight. A single stone touches its surface, and ripples bloom outward in perfect circles. That's what a particle is before it's seen, a ripple of where it could be. But those ripples don't go on forever. They fade, they interfere, they dance, until, eventually, one path becomes real. The wave collapses. A choice is made, not by will, but by contact. You feel this in your chest now, a rhythm that's not your heartbeat, but something quieter still, a pulse of maybe. The wave function is pure potential. It doesn't tell you where the particle is, only where it might be found, until you look. And then, the many paths condense into one. This is called collapse. It sounds sudden, but it isn't violent. It's like a sigh, a leaf settling onto still water. Before measurement, the particle is everywhere its wave allows. After, it is somewhere, just one place. The moment of collapse is subtle, but it marks the line between what might happen and what did. And that's what you're made of. Not certainty, but countless collapsed maybes. Every atom in your body has danced through a sea of possible paths, has hovered in limbo, has waited to become real. You are the outcome of uncountable quantum pulses choosing to be here. You look at your hands, or the idea of them, and wonder how something as solid as skin can come from something as uncertain as waves. But that's the grace of the quantum. From possibility emerges presence. From ambiguity, form. Like mist becoming rain. Your body is made from molecules, molecules from atoms, atoms from particles, each one pulsing with potential before falling softly into place. You are not a rigid machine. You are a harmony, a quiet orchestra of collapsed waves. And so is everything else. The warmth of a star, the color of a leaf, the movement of a thought, all emerge from this same quantum pulse. You lie back in the quiet, carried by this rhythm. Like a lullaby sung by the universe, each note chosen from a cloud of sound until it lands, just there. And as you rest in this knowing, a thought rises gently from the deep. If every particle is guided by a wave, what creates the wave? Is there a pattern beneath the pattern? A deeper pulse that cradles all the rest? And so you drift, carried by the gentle rhythm of possibility, a wave that pulses beneath all things. Particles shimmer between maybes and moments, choosing paths not with force, but with quiet elegance. You are built from this dance, from soft collapses and infinite beginnings. And as you float between breaths, one final question stirs like mist on still water. If reality can ripple through barriers, then what other boundaries might it quietly dissolve? Sleep now, for ahead lies a passage even stranger, where particles slip through walls that should hold them still.